pretty amazing. Nice.
Like I said, most of us, our futures are really determined by the people that we spend the most time with. And you'll see it in our patterns of immigration. I'm talking to you like, you come into a community where a lot of people are nurses, most people will become a nurse if they come into that community. You go into a community where people are doing IT, the next person who comes will more than likely do IT, right? So now what I love about our community is this community is all about talking about wealth and how to use digital currency, digital platforms, digital franchising to actualize your wealth goals. And it's, mind-blowing the things that are happening if we tap in with the right mindset and right education. So money has evolved. Obviously, we used to, we know the houses used to trade cows, and then it was gold, and then it, morphed into coins, and then paper money. Then now everyone is swiping cards. Then we're using Venmo and Zelle and PayPal and all of these transactions that are online. And now it's cryptocurrency. So for example, I was doing some work in Nigeria with a videographer for one of my beauty events. And, I paid a deposit, waited, came back for him to finish the work, get the work back, and then pay him the rest of it. And I said, okay, well, how do I pay you? And he said, please send me Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin. So I just said, okay, send me your wallet. And then he sends me his wallet address. Within 2 minutes, he has his money, right? What cryptocurrency does is it breaks down the barriers, it breaks down borders. It's banking for the unbanked, right? Anybody who has access to the internet and understands the cryptocurrency systems can bank on crypto, all right? But this is really not even about the fact that it's open to everyone. It's that a lot of people may have crypto, they're excited about it, they're excited about Doge or Shiba or whatever, but they don't understand the benefits. So for example, one, it's accessible, okay? It is not prone to theft. So one of the videos I just posted was like, you wanna make sure your crypto is secure, meaning, the first thing usually when you're opening any account or a wallet or signing on to an exchange, they ask you for an email address. So even your email needs to be secure, little things like that. So there are tons of benefits. It's decentralized. It's not controlled by a central bank, and it's now being recognized universally. Highest adoption, third highest adoption of cryptocurrency utility in the world is in Africa. It's in Africa. Like anyone now, a girlfriend of mine was going to send me some money. I said, send it by crypto, right? Very minimal fees, very easy to transfer. We just have to understand the systems. And there's no room for corruption, because when we hear about blockchain technology on which cryptocurrency is built on, it's really about putting checks and balances in a digital form that is open source. So there's no room for corruption, right? All transactions could potentially be visible. But what I am doing right now is I'm saying, guys, let's think about it. Most of us spend the most money around the holidays. They're buying gifts, they're traveling. I say if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. If this cup costs $5, you better have $10 in the bank. I want us to start thinking that way, and that we are buying assets before we buy liabilities, before we buy the things that expire. So for example, all the stuff that my kids got for Christmas last year, they're not playing with it right now, right? In the middle of the year, they were asking for something else. Later on, they're asking for something else. So why don't we begin to have things that continue to appreciate in value? A lot of the time when we think of assets, we think of stuff like houses, things, art, like major art and stuff like that. Now I'm saying cryptocurrency is the fastest appreciating asset on the market, right? real estate in some places turns over, doubles in value every 7 years. Crypto is doing that every year or every couple months, depending on the utility. You hear me say that utility a lot. Now, utility, understanding it is a function of understanding the crypto space and how certain cryptos move, but that's for another day. So if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. Just let's keep that in mind. So, you know, don't put back your Doritos. Just know that now Doritos don't cost $2, they cost $4. But let me give you an example, all right? You have a $500 bike. You wanna buy it for your child for Christmas. So what do I say? This is crypto auntie talking. You wanna have $1,000 in the bank. So let's say you got paid today, you got paid $1,000 fiat currency, US dollars in your bank account. What do you do with it? Typically we'd go buy the bike and then we'd end up spending the money doing whatever else. What I'm asking you to do now is to buy cryptocurrency because you are buying an asset, okay? We're gonna hold my watch like this is crypto. Now, once you buy $1,000 worth of crypto, what you're doing is you're giving yourself permission to become your own bank, all right? So you have an asset. Now, this is what your bank does. It has a 2% annual interest rate. You can add or withdraw funds into it at any time, meaning you can buy more and more cryptocurrency at any time. You can get a card for your cryptocurrency, no fees, and 2% cash back on all purchases, and a credit line facility. Now, the caveat is when you have your crypto in the bank, right? You know, like when you buy your house, you immediately are not able to take money out of it. But when you have deposit crypto in the right facility, you're able to withdraw 50% of your investment. So for example, if you deposited the $1,000, hang on, you're able to borrow up to 50%, no credit check from yourself, from the Bank of Rodrigue, right? No credit check, you buy your Bitcoin, 2 minutes later, you take out $500. So what does that mean? How I use this? If I have been using this from the beginning of the year, for example, every time I get $5,000, I put it there, I take out 2.5 and I live on it. But by the time 3 months or 4 months have come, I have $20,000 in Bitcoin, right? I have a $20,000 asset and I've lived off of 10,000. In the past year, Bitcoin has doubled. In this same time last year, Bitcoin was 30,000. Now it's 67. So if I had been putting 5,000 every month and living off of 2.5, right? I had 20,000. And I'm just giving a 4-month example. 20,000, I have borrowed 10,000. Right now in my crypto bank, I would have had $40,000, okay, in my assets, but I owe myself 10,000 because I've been borrowing from it. And I can literally take from my gains, pay myself back, and still have an extra $10,000. Am I making sense?
Yep.
Okay. With this type of banking systems, it's instant approval as long as you have assets in there, and it's a small annual interest rate of 6.9%. So you actually don't have to pay this loan back until a year. You just have to be paying the interest. So crypto, they call it decentralized banking, really is banking for the unbanked, right? It doesn't matter if you're a drug dealer, if you're a prisoner, you know, if you have bad credit, Jangis can work through this, right? Different groups of people could work through this, build and compound their assets, and still have working capital to work with, right? No monthly repayment fees, and it has insurance. So again, with this example, remember when I started this, I said, whatever you want to buy, make sure you have twice as much of that before you spend. You have $1,000, you wanted to buy your $500 bike, you buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. For example, you could buy Ethereum, you could buy anything, Solana, Cardano, any of those. And then you borrow against it, all right? $1,000 of Bitcoin at $50,000, if Bitcoin is $50,000, right? They say Bitcoin doubles in value every year, but it's slated to 10x its value every 4 years. Well, in the academy, we have the best of the best educators. These guys, top notch, globally. And we have the privilege of sitting in class with them. If you look on my Instagram, I have pictures with Curtis Cobain, Mike Sotero, except for these two. I don't have pictures with these two, but I've met this one, right? We have the privilege of talking to them, picking their brain. Crypto Picasso told us the trajectory of Bitcoin in 2013, like almost to a T. Like these people really, really understand the utility of digital currency and how it moves. So that's the value of being in our academy. It says Bitcoin is slated to go to 200K by April 2020. Now, some people would be like, okay, so I'm just gonna buy Bitcoin. But you'll hear other people say, you know, I bought Bitcoin and then Bitcoin went down. And that is true because Bitcoin moves in waves and cryptocurrency moves in waves. Currency moves in waves. We all know that. One day you want to send money to Cameroon, it's 500 francs to the dollar. The next day is 560 and so on and so forth. Same with Bitcoin. All right. So, but back to my example, if you held this at the very, you know, at this normalized rate of return where it's quadrupling every 10xing itself every 4 years, your $1,000 would be 4,000. You took out 500 in credit. You're still in profit a lot, but $3,500. All right. So now let's say you had $3,500. That is the value of your portfolio. Now your credit line available is $1,750. So as long as it keeps increasing, your credit line also increases, right? So as it increases in value, you can also take out more. It's like, wow, it really is mind-blowing. So that is one of the, a lot of people are not familiar with that type of decentralized banking model. So your assets can continue to grow in value, even though you taking money out of them. Now, secondly, you know, most of us don't buy assets because we think, you know, $500,000 house, $50,000 house. A lot of people don't have $50,000 in the bank. You can buy crypto for $10, $100, $50. Okay. Some people are like, well, okay, it's still a lot. I live to the T, you know, everything. I can't live on half. A lot of us can, but hey, if you can't, then we say there's a difference between investing and trading. The beauty of trading is that if you understand the markets, you want to understand the price going to go up or is it going to go down? It's that simple. Those of us are here who want to have your capital building phase of your investment journey. You want to build capital, then you do that through trading. Basically ride the waves, all right? So let's look at another example. Bitcoin, while it's up now, for those of us who understand, we understand that the price will go down. So let's say you have $1,000 of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at $50,000. And then all of a sudden, something happens. We typically know what that is about to be. And then the price goes down. Every investors are upset. They get out of the market. But when you're part of our academy, we know when that's about to happen, or our educators are educating us or saying, oh, we're seeing these things happening. It may be time to pull your money out. Okay, what do we do when that happens, right? We go to our live sessions with the educators. They'll tell you we're expecting a pullback. Put your money in a stable coin. Put your money in a coin that doesn't fluctuate. And there are coins like that as well. So that's why when someone asks me, well, what coin should I buy? It really depends on the time. It depends on your goals, right? So if you want to put your money in a stable coin, so let's think about it. With that $1,000 example, you want to hold. So at that point, you pull out your money from Bitcoin, your Bitcoin investment, and hold it in a stable coin. Then when the price goes down, you buy your Bitcoin at a lower price. Bitcoin is still slated to go up. It shoots up to 200,000. Then you have more Bitcoin. So you actually position yourself for greater success when you understand the moves of the market. Is that making sense?
Makes total sense.
Okay. So Bitcoin went to half. The value of your investment could have gone to half, but because you understood the move of the market, you had put your money in a stable coin, Bitcoin goes to half, you then quadruple your investment, right? As the wave goes back up, then, you half your investment, the wave goes up, you position yourself now to make way more than you would have if you had just left it. Now, if you had just left your money in there and you sat and you rode the wave down and you rode the wave back up, you'd still make money, right? But what happens psychologically, most people can't stand those waves. So they get fearful and then they pull their money out. But this is where the education comes in, right? So that is kind of like one of the many academies in IM Mastery Academy, digital currency. I've just given you kind of like a big overview. They teach us how to trade. They teach us how to invest. You're in the company of multi-billionaires. All the educators are 6, 7, and 8-figure investors who are paid to teach us to invest. They also send us ideas on the go. Hey, here's a trade idea. You can make a quick $500, a quick $200 on the go. So you don't miss opportunity to make a profit. Well, like while you're at work, you could get an idea, you put it in and keep working. When you understand how to utilize the apps, understand the market, you know how to control your trade, and you can still make a profit on the go. What I say to the people I coach is, I'm like, you take that money out and you put it in your decentralized banking system, and then you continue to buy assets and accumulate wealth over the long term. All right, so this was like we call ourselves the CEO movement, which stands for Creating Entrepreneurs in Opulence. CEOs with DCX, that's entrepreneurs with digital currency exchange. We're in the Exchange Academy. This is our small community. Just sharing our results: 17 trades, 13 wins, 4 losses, 76% accuracy, 11,000 pips. Like if you were investing $1 took all the trades that were shared, you'd have made 11,000. If you're investing $10, you'd have made 110,000. So this is trading. This is not even investing. Most people will say, okay, take that money now and reinvest it. We're on a compounding journey in our community right now. Everyone's compounding their accounts to $1 million. Like, the beauty of community is that you have people who are egging you on and like, let's do this, let's do this. Are you taking that trade? Are you in the trade? What price did you get in at? Are you moving your profit moving this into, it's just beautiful. It's been one of the most cooperative communities I've been in, because no one's success affects yours, you know? So I love it. I love our community. This is what it costs to start, $325. And then $275 monthly. If you want to partake in all the academies, if you want to do one of the academies, if you want to do just a single academy, I think it's $235 and then $175 a month. Just people on our team from all over who, making profits within within their first week. She didn't just join. In her first week, she took 10 trades. She had 9 wins, 1 loss, 90% ratio. Super proud of her. She's in Dominica. She's in the UK. She had a $200 day. We celebrate everything. His first month, 60% accuracy on his first 10 trades. We celebrate. So we make flyers for everything. But we say, hey, if you're like, you know what, I like this, but it's a bit steep, there's a scholarship option. If you refer 2 friends, 2 paying customers, your membership is free. You have to do it. No, it's optional, but we recommend you do it. Like when I came, I was not interested in recommending anything, but now I do because I get so much joy from seeing people really, really win and change their financial outcomes. There's referral bonuses. If you refer from 3 people and up, you start earning a bonus. And then there's bonuses, like it's the best paying company in the network marketing industry, but networking is not required. 80% of people here are customers. They use the products, they come on the live sessions, but if we bring people into the company by referral, okay? So the payment goes all the way up to 750,000. I tell you, top earners in this company are young. They're like 25, 26, and they're doing amazing. But it starts from here, where if you get 10 people, you're making $600 a month. That's the sweet spot because it covers your enrollment fees and you have extra money to trade with, to invest. That's, you know, most people, a lot of people I know come into trade, but then quickly say, if you're just trading your money when you're still learning the skill, it can be a bit difficult until we started doing this DeFi banking stuff. But then those who are like, you know what, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna get people to see this so the company can pay me. When the company pays me, I use that to trade. Then they find a really sweet spot. So that's when I started building, when I said, you know what, that's actually a better formula. But the reward is just like here. So many people curious, so many people are misinformed out there. But it's just such a joy to say, look, this is the right way. All right. That's why I decided to start sharing more nuggets. I was doing it before, but just on more one-on-one basis. But now I'm trying to be intentional about sharing it. All right. It's one of the top home-based businesses with top earners in the nation and across the world. Yvonne Tapia, Imoniti, Jason Brown, Bryce Thompson. And these are all people earning residual income in our community. I'm one of them. The number is the amount they're earning per month based on the size of their team. And that's it. That is one tiny bit of the academy. This weekend, there is a boot camp for those who want to learn e-commerce. So e-commerce is also a form of exchange. And it's free and open for 3 days. So if you're interested in e-commerce, that's also open and available as well. Also taught by the Academy, some top educators who teach e-commerce. I know I'm doing that for my other business as well. So that is the product I have. So when someone says, I want to buy a coin, I say, you know, it's a longer conversation. Not because if you have to say, what would you recommend? I always recommend stable coins or some that are more stable. Bitcoin and Ethereum are my top 2. Polygon right now is a good one. Polkadot, that's free information. So you can take that to the bank. But again, understanding when to move your money and then put it back, that is also key to being a successful investor. All right, so that concludes my presentation. Let's stop this page.